The purpose of building a solid grip and a balanced stance is to support not only the correct start of the swing, but also the important area of impact. What we want to have is a good, solid impact position and conditions through the ball, and there should be no slipping of the club in your hands and no loss of balance in your body. So the address position has the hands mid-body, the shaft pointing at my hips. By the moment of impact, the hands will be much further forward, while the shoulders have remained parallel to the target line in this impact area. The shoulders have rocked. The right shoulder is a lot lower than it was at address. But also, equally importantly, the hips have turned well through the ball. The lead leg, the left leg, is straight, and the weight is firm in both feet at the beginning of the impact zone. Looking at the difference between the address position and the impact position from this angle. At address, shoulders and hips are parallel to the target line, hands are in the middle of my body, and my wrists are level here. They haven't uncocked and they're not cocked, just a neutral position of the hands. Now, at the beginning of impact, the hands have been forced forward, still remaining level or neutral. They haven't uncocked as yet at the beginning of impact, but notice how far the hips have cleared while the shoulders have remained parallel to the target line, right shoulder a lot lower than it was at address. You might notice from here, the left arm is fully extended, and the right arm from behind here, there's no right arm out and around, right arm is more bent. This would be the beginning of the impact zone. At close-up, we'll look at the left hand at the address position has a bent wrist. The right wrist is flat. By the beginning of the impact zone, the left wrist is flat and the right wrist is more bent. They've reversed their attitude. At address, the wrists are level. They're not uncocked or they're not cocked. At the moment of impact, while the left wrist is flattened and the right wrist is bent, the hands have still remained level. They haven't uncocked and they're definitely not cocked. They've remained level through to the beginning of the impact zone. Now that we've been introduced that there is a difference between the address position and the impact position, what's needed is we need to know more detail about where the body should be to support this impact position of the hands. And what we're looking at from this angle is that as you go into the impact, the left leg straightens and the left hip turns well out of the road, and the weight goes back into the left through the left heel, and the right leg remains very stable. It's an anchor point, it's a pivot point in the impact area. We notice that with the hips. Now, while the hips are turning in this way, in a horizontal rotation, the shoulders are more in a vertical or rocking action. The address position has the shoulders on this incline. At the moment of impact, the right shoulder is much lower than the left. The shoulder line is parallel to the target line. So left leg is straight, left hip's turned, shoulders have rotated very vertically, and your right shoulder's very low. Head's very stable, and this would be the body position to support the hands and arms in the impact zone. Looking at the body position for the impact from this direction, from a good address position, balance and stance, by the beginning of the impact zone, the left hip has cleared as the left leg straightened. You'll notice that the right leg has remained very stable. There's no attempt to come off of the right side. It acts as an anchor point or pivot point in the downswing through impact. While the hips are turning this way and the weight's flat in the feet, the shoulders respond by going in this vertical action. The right shoulder is going down, left shoulder is going up. So as it comes in, the left shoulder being high, the shoulders at impact will be parallel to the target line. This body position will have transported the hands to the beginning of the impact zone.